Hey guys, we're here today to talk about a very new and exciting product that we are just coming out with here at Cicio Performance. And I decided to bring you down to our machine shop and introduce Brent, our in-house engineer, who has designed this product and built it from the ground up, all the way from the integration of how it works into the factory tank of the car to conception to product. I'll let him talk about that more because he's going to sound way smarter than I am in that space. But this is our new C8 in-tank fuel system, okay, which we are very excited about. Our twin turbo kits, as many of you know, utilize a tank in the front of the car that introduces whatever fuel is in that tank into the port system of the vehicle, into the port injectors. And while that has worked wonderfully, we have been looking for, trying to come up with an in-tank solution that then we could, when it came out, which it is now, do flex fuel and other items all integrated through the factory tank. So you could run your E85, you could run pump fuel or race gas or whatever you're running. So it has gone from, man, we wish we had this, to conceiving it to an actual product that we're excited about, all thought up, designed, and built in-house here at the Cicio Performance Machine Shop, Cicio Powertrains as it is. So I'm going to let Brent take it away here a little bit and explain what he's done and explain this system, where it goes, you know, in the car, how it installs, and why we chose to do it the way that we did. We're going to try not to go too long-winded, but listen, we love teaching, we love details. We want you to buy our product because it is something that was well thought out. It's kind of hard for us to express how well thought out something is with just a couple little quips like, here's something shiny, you should buy it. So we're going to try to keep your attention, but we want to do a little bit of a deep dive here so you understand just why this product is so good. So Brent, tell us a little bit about it.
All right. Well, we've got this entire unit here consisting of our own designed and machined billet top hat. This allows for the factory rollover and vent tubes to be retained so that all of your evap system from the stock car is still fully operational. We have a nice bulkhead electrical connector that I scoured the industry for to be able to provide power for up to 3 pumps in our solution.
Just for everybody out there watching and looking, how does the tank, how does this thing, if this thing's physically in the car, how does it sit?
So the tanks in the C8s are very much vertically aligned, with the bulkhead being almost vertical itself. So it sits in the tank much like this here.
Okay.
And it, of course, suspends itself from the factory bulkhead plastic piece, the same position as the factory bulkhead plastic piece, and then hangs the pumps down into the tank. We don't have anything physically clipped to the bottom of the tank because that provision doesn't exist in the passenger side.
So what exactly, like, where does this sit and what did that take you to make sure it got to where you wanted it? Just so you guys understand, Brent is a little unique in the fact that he was a mechanic for many, many, many years for us, and trained engineer, and has combined his knowledges, his information that he's got of how things work and then how to make them and put them together, and it's very powerful. So that's kind of one of the reasons that I'm asking him that. So yeah, so I know that this was a little tricky, so tell me about it.
Yeah, so we wanted to get the positioning of the fuel pump in the tank just right, so that we could get maximum draw out of each side of the saddle tank, so you don't have to have a worry if you're running under a quarter tank or anything like that. So we went through numerous versions, of course 3D printing prototypes that bring it down, some that brought it forward, some that brought it left and right. And the geometry of the factory tank is very complicated and leaves lots of little scallops. So we had to do quite a few revisions to get it to sit just in the bottom of the scallop, exactly where we wanted it to prevent any type of starvation issues or sloshing,
yeah,
like that. So,
and that's very cool. And I'll kind of take that and jump over. And again, I'll let you explain this a little bit as to, you know, you don't want starvation, you don't want sloshing to make it so their fuel pump doesn't pick up your fuel, right? So is there a dynamic about that that has to do as to why we decided to put this where we put it versus, you know, a replacement? So if you haven't gathered, This particular unit does not go in the same side of the vehicle that the factory system goes. The factory system is a brushless pump. It is run by the factory ECU via a brushless controller, and it is in its own swirl pot sump system that retains the fuel inside of it to prevent just that, any type of sloshing or starvation if you're going around a long corner with heavy G's on one side of the car, or so on and so forth. So we did not disrupt that. We left that very specifically because the factory designed it and they put a lot of time, effort, and thought process into it. But tell us some of the reasons why we left that. We don't have to go too deep dive, but some of the reasons why we left that, you know, it kind of piggybacks on top of, you know, why we decided to make this, you know, go all the way down into the little square scallop that's in the one side of the tank. So yeah, give us a little bit more information about that.
Sure. So like you said, the factory C8 fuel system is a decent design, brushless pump, factory returnless with a regulator all integrated into the factory fuel pump control unit. Good stuff that we didn't feel like we needed to mess with nor replace for our given solution. So we went to the other side of the tank. The C8s have a saddle tank, kind of half of it on the driver's side, half of it on the passenger side. The driver's side originally contains a factory fuel control unit, as well as a factory fuel neck, some electronics to run the pump and stuff. So we decided, for simplicity's sake, since you're going to have to take down the fuel tank anyway to install this, the passenger side tank had less connections going to and from, and was a little bit easier to take out due to the fuel filler neck being absent.
And so to another point, we are a shop. So we have to install this stuff, right? So we think through it. It's like, okay, what is the guy going to want to do? Like, is he going to want to have to take all this stuff apart, or is this easier and provides a solution that is arguably better, but definitely simpler? And so that's the route we decided to go. Not to interrupt you, but
yeah, no problem. Like he alluded to, I was a tech before I was doing engineering, so I've cursed many engineers in my day. I don't want to be that guy, so I strive to make this easy to install, sensible in the process, not just a great part that it's like, hey, figure out how to put it in. And with that, some of the features that I like as far as ease to design is I designed the hanger and the hat separately with kind of a track mechanism that allows you to simply slide the hanger into the track, and then allows it to be trapped by a fitting here that you'll screw in whether you're using returnless or not. This will be your return fitting if you choose to use return, or your returnless fitting will trap that in there and lock it all together, so that you don't have little screws and little bolts inside trying to thread it in blindly should you have to service it inside of the tank.
well, that's a good point. Just wanted to let you guys know. So we are not sending you guys, you know, this. Just so in case you're interested in ordering this, this is not how you're going to get this. I mean, it's cool and it's pretty. And if you want some of these things for your wall in your garage or something, that's great. We'll make you some. But we will be sending these things to you all put together, ready to just drop into the tank. And they do very simply just drop into the tank. Once again, we'll film some B-roll of that. And so this is how you're going to get the unit. This is a single pump version of it. This is a twin pump version of it. And then we also have a triple pump option as well. So let's talk about support of power. How much power will these support? Okay, so these are some theories because we have tested them in a car. We do have one of these in a car working, operating perfectly. So they're not all theory, but there's some. Now we have run, you know, a C8 up to the edge of its factory fuel system, and then we've added this. We have not run this to the edge of its capabilities, pretty much just because it's got high capabilities. So a single unit here, and I might defer to Brent here a little bit, but a single unit, you're going to have a pump gas and a E85 power support number, okay? And these are going to be loose figures. Please don't, this isn't scientific. There's a lot that goes into this, but I'm going to estimate low, just so you go. So, all right, so what do you estimate for pump fuel that this will add to the system?
Yeah, so with the Walbros that we're including with this, and based on our past experiences, this should very safely add about 600 horse worth of power on pump gas, and probably 550 or so on E85.
Okay.
And that's, you know, a conservative number.
And that's the single pump or the twin?
That is going to be for a single pump for additional fuel. The twin pump should be about 1,100 worth of additional fuel on E85.
So the factory C8 low side starts tapering off and running out right around the 700 horsepower level, somewhere in that neighborhood, okay? So that means your single pump, we're just gonna go conservatively, your single pump is going to be able to produce probably in the neighborhood of 1,200 horsepower worth of race gas fuel,
Yes.
or pump gas if you're crazy, but probably race gas. And then somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000-ish on ethanol. And then if you want to do the twin pump setup, you will be able to support 1,300-ish horsepower on ethanol, 1,500-ish horsepower on race gas. And then of course we have the triple if you're making more power than anybody ever has on a C8, which is great because somebody's going to do that, and that's why we came. Yeah, it's coming. That's why we came out with the triple. And then we're gonna start breaking transmissions. But anyway, so those are rough numbers. Don't scientific me and shred those apart. Those are rough numbers, and they will be close. And probably, honestly, they're a little bit on the conservative side.
Yeah.
Now, I'm trying not to dive too deep here, but let's talk about how this integrates with the factory system. You know, because if you want to just stay DI and you want to upgrade all of your DI stuff, you know, you want to upgrade your high pressure pump, your low pressure pump, your injectors, and your cam to run this all DI, you can. You absolutely can, and this will work. And you can line that up all with the factory manifold.
Correct.
And the DI system, okay? That's pretty easy as far as just running it into the factory fuel lines and supplying that fuel, right? As far as if you have a port injection system, tell us a little bit about the dynamic of how that would work, because most people that are doing this, they're going to have port injection. If you're going to go for a bigger fuel system, you're going to not delete the DI, excuse me, I'm in V10 world. If you're going to do that, you're going to do an aftermarket fuel system, you're probably going to go on top of the DI with a port injection with an intake manifold and some, you know, an additional 8 injectors. So tell us a little bit about how that rolls in, and maybe even if, like, does it work with the flex fuel sensors and so on and so forth?
Sure. So this will fully work with the flex fuel sensors that we have and other popular kits on the market. That plumbing is generally done on more of the stock lines. So let's say that you have a both direct and port injection, like he just said. This will provide all of your port injection fueling. Your direct injection fueling will still come from the factory fuel system. And within that factory side of the fuel system is where we stick our flex fuel line. And then, of course, all the fuel is shared with both tanks, so it's the same fuel content on the port system and the direct system, which is something that we think is pretty important for this type of setup.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of talk about 2 different pumps, 2 different systems. Please understand, this is all in the factory tank. There's just 2 factory tanks, and they balance. They work together to balance. So this is all the factory fuel tank. It's just that there's 2 saddles of it. There's 2 sides of it. Just so that's not confusing. Yeah, so I think that's probably enough data to chomp on. We do include, you told me a little bit about before we went on air. We're official, we're on air. I don't know if you knew. I'm gonna get a light, red one, on air. You've seen those, right?
An applause light as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, an applause one would be awesome. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the electronics that we provide with this system. If there's anything I'm not good at, it's electronics. But tell us a little bit about what you've provided and what we're going to send with these kits and how robust it is.
Sure. This is a TE connectivity relay module that we've been testing on a couple specific applications here previous to this, and I loved it enough that I wanted to roll it out as our relay module solution for this fuel system. This is relay, I think technically was found originally on a BMW, a starter relay, has continuous rating of 150 amps, pulse rating of 300 amps, so it's very robust.
Tell me, okay, so I had no idea what that means, still don't know what that means. Tell me what that means as far as these things, like we have 1, 2, or 3 of these.
Yeah.
Where are we safe to?
Sure. So 3 of these at absolute max current draw is around 25 amps. So we're using around half of the rated continuous capacity on a triple pump system.
Gotcha. Right. So like way overbuilt.
Way overbuilt, nicely made. It's got a nice little weather pack connector to trigger it, nice M6 lugs to get your power in and out so that you don't have to be fighting with little terminals and trying to get a decent sized power wire on there. It's weather packed pretty good. We did put this neat little sleeve on just to kind of further protect some of the terminals from accidental bumping or anything like that. We wanted some insulation and some more weather packing there as well. So
plus it's got our little logo on it.
And it's got our logo on it.
Yeah,
So it's
so
flashy.
That's good. So awesome. Well, listen, we are very excited about this. These are, as you can see, available. Pricing, I guess we'll put on the website. There'll probably be a link in the description, or if I point somewhere, something will just balloon up or something. I don't know. But we're very happy and excited about this. This has been months in the making.
Yeah, actually, I looked back and the first CAD versions were late April.
Okay, yes, it's been months in the making. They are all designed, built in-house here, tested in-house here. We know that they work, and you should buy one because I have 5 months of development and I need to recoup some of that money. No, seriously though, we're excited about the product. Thank you guys so much for, if you stayed till the very end, like I don't have a cookie or anything. I appreciate it very much for you staying. We'll do a little B-roll and show you some of the details and some of the neat things that Brent's like kind of laced into here with some of the logoing and some of the labels that you can see right here on the hat, and it's pretty awesome. We're excited. And this is one of our very first products to come to actual market. We have tons of other stuff in the queue, but this is one of the first things that we've actually hit the ground with, and we're stoked about it. So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Brent, for sharing with us.
Absolutely.
And you'll probably be seeing quite a bit more of him. Why? Because most of these videos that I do by myself, I can speak very with a lot of education, with a lot of information from front to back, and so I understand it. This, I don't. I understand some of it, not all of it, so I've got to pull in somebody to be able to teach you guys the stuff that I don't know. I'm learning here too. I learned like 4 things just in this video. So thanks so much for watching. Please, if you like the video, you like the information, you think there's anybody that you know that might be interested in it, share the video, like it, subscribe to the channel if you will. We're really trying to grow the YouTube here and the social spaces so that we can bring more fun content to you. We've got new equipment, we've got new stuff that we're here trying to use. So share this in your local C8 group, put it on a forum somewhere, text it around here a little bit, and help us out in that space. You know, subscribe to the channel because we're going to be bringing a lot more fun content to you in the next coming week. So thanks again. Till next time, I don't know my end. See you later. I always just walk away.
That's how the cookie crumbles.